Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Rod and Bo. And I said to Darren as we were driving back from the golf course last night, I said, Darren, I think in the opening segment, I'm just going to turn it over to you because you had the funniest take on myself and the star quarterback of the Canadian Football League's Calgary Stampeders, Bo Levi Mitchell, who clearly doesn't like me at all. We extended the offer for him to come on the program yesterday live from the Bears Paw Golf Club, and the quote was not a chance, and there might have been an F-bomb in there, too. So, you knew we were going to run into each other at the supper, which I was the master of ceremonies of the supper last night. They put the mic in my hand, and you just giggled your butt off watching the hijinks.
Well, it was funny, you know, right from the beginning. It was literally like two exes showing up to the same venue, and they hadn't seen each other since the breakup, right? They both knew each other was going to be there, so it was awkward right from the beginning. We were looking around, where's Bo? And you could see when he came in, and we were all outside by the carts and mingling and registering, he was looking over, and then inside...
I saw it.
Inside the banquet hall, you know, it was like Rod's here, Bo, and you just circled the perimeter, but always stayed on opposite sides of the room until... You know, it got so bad that he was in the buffet line. There was nobody else left to go. And as you like to do, you let everybody else eat first. And clearly Bo does too, because he was the second last person to eat. And
I'm like, I'm not going up there.
Yeah, you can't go in line when he's there.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Bernie Nichols joins us as he does every week. I'm wondering, you obviously watched the game. What do you expect in Game 4?
I've always said in the playoffs, home ice and coaching doesn't really mean a lot, right? Like a lot of teams play better on the road than they do at home. And I've always said, too, until you lose a home game, you're never in trouble. And I expect Tampa to win tomorrow and then see if Colorado hold home ice when they get back home.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Wednesday, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show, originating from the stage bar at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in beautiful Calgary, Alberta. We're on the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation, and we're ready to talk sports for the next 2 hours. And we are literally on the stage overlooking the beautiful casino. We have a live studio audience. Good morning, guys. And we've got the Moose with us, Darren Moose DuPont. How you doing today, Moose?
Top of the world, yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, great morning.
Yes, me too. I'm loving life today. Very, very happy. Other than, you know, I had my horn ready to go.
Yes.
On my YouTube app, and then I don't have it ready to go because we have breaking news this morning, so just hang on. Coming up on the program today, we have Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk. As luck would have it, very big news there. But I just, wait till I get my...
There you go.
There we go. Breaking news. There's my breaking news horn. Before we go any further, yes, Paul Maurice. So says TSN's Darren Dreger, who's never wrong. Paul Maurice, the longtime coach of the Winnipeg Jets, is finalizing a 3-year deal to be the head coach of the NHL's Florida Panthers. And I feel like we could spend 2 hours on that. I know we're going to spend some time on it, Moose, but as luck would have it, Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk, where Paul Maurice spent the last 9 years as coach of the Jets, will be with us in hour 1. And in hour 2, a man that would need no introduction to Southern Alberta sports fans, Jock Wilson from CHQR 770 Radio, formerly 66 CFR. Jock Wilson will be with us. You love that, don't you?
Yeah, every time we drive around town, you pick out all the different spots that used to sponsor a couple of decades ago. And
Tom's House of Pizza pregame show. Yes, so Jock Wilson will be with us, and Jock's a great guy, and he can talk NHL, CFL, and all the topics that we're going to get into. And some movie reviews, too. As I said, any two dummies could get on a microphone and talk sports all day. That's not that hard, but people like our stories. And last night with our wonderful movie cinema partner, Landmark Cinemas, you and I went to the Shaughnessy Cinemas, Landmark Shaughnessy Cinemas, and finally saw Maverick, which is not a remake of Top Gun. It's like the second of the, not the trilogy, but I was thinking if there is a trilogy, Tom Cruise will come back at like 88 and fly a plane.
Probably.
Can you imagine?
Probably.
It was so great. But this kid, I mentioned yesterday that when I went to Top Gun in 1986 or whatever, and I was in grade 9, and the girl in grade 12 put her hand on my knee, and I freaked out because I wasn't ready for it. Moose didn't recreate that incident last night, but the movie came out before you were born before. So you watched Top Gun just to get ready for Maverick.
And I had seen it as a kid. I think it came out in 87.
Oh, okay.
So I think I was a few weeks old. But I watched it last week, And really, the first Top Gun is awesome. I mean, the jets and the action, but not a lot of story. It was not a great movie, probably from the critics' point of view. The movie last night was unbelievable. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
It was amazing then. This one last night's amazing. Maverick, go see it. And just so amazing. That's all I can say.
So good.
Get to your local Landmark Cinema. But I will say this. We go in with media passes, and we are to talk about the movies on the show. But the concessions aren't free. So I said to Moose, I could get a steak at the Keg for cheaper than what I paid. And I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Hot dog, peanut M&Ms, nibs, popcorn, and of course a Diet Coke, because that'll negate all of the calories that I put away.
It sounds good though when we're going. Movie's free, Rod.
Right.
How come I paid $60 for snacks?
It was fantastic.
But you loaded up. It was great. The food was good, and the movie was awesome.
Okay, I see the comments are coming in from the viewers. Everybody's awake. Let's go. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Gordon, please, and thank you to what we're going to get into. I can't hear it. I assume it's airing. Thank you. Bingo. So we talked about the breaking news. How much time do we want to spend on Paul Maurice going to the Florida Panthers?
Yeah.
We had, that'll be 1A, I guess. I see my Panthers friends are writing me saying, why did he leave in Winnipeg again? These are the fans of the Panthers in South Florida. This is a very interesting situation to sit here and break down, and that's why we love daytime sports talk, because nobody else is talking about this at this time of day on television in Canada nor America. He stepped down on my birthday, December 16th. That was a Thursday, because he said the team needed a new voice. And obviously the team wasn't trending in the right direction. I'm pretty sure, Darren, they were out of the playoff cut line at that point. And he was obviously right. For the next several months, because it's Winnipeg, it was a hot topic. Everybody was talking about it in the country. And as the team never pulled out of the doldrums, everybody was thinking. Craig Button came on this show and said, I think he just jumped before he got pushed. He saw what was coming. But he's still a great coach. He had him in the playoffs every year. And I tell you what, he's taking over talent-wise, well, other than Colorado, the best team in the NHL. For sure the best team in the Eastern Conference, talent-wise. So Paul Maurice is smiling like a butcher's dog, and so many people were writing in here saying, Rod, what do you think about Andrew Brunette? Is he going to be brought back? This was going into the playoffs because they forced Joel Quenneville to step down in the wake of the Chicago Blackhawks scandal. They weren't going to bring in somebody new. This was an awkward situation for everybody. But Andrew Brunette and his Panthers were swept in round 2 by Tampa. They didn't even show up. This morning I was thinking, would Quenneville have made a difference? he probably would have. He did it in Chicago. He won 3 Stanley Cups there. So this was Andrew Brunette's chance. Seems like a great guy. Probably a pretty good coach. I would hope, Darren, that he learned something in stepping into the spotlight. Coached at the All-Star game, so he's got probably a pretty cool jacket out of that. But they didn't get past Tampa. They didn't put up a fight, and for that reason, he wasn't clearly seriously considered for the head coaching job. So Paul Maurice taking over the Florida Panthers, and that kind of came out of nowhere, and it leaves Barry Trotz going to the Winnipeg Jets, obviously, and that's another topic for another time. But I talked to Panthers fans this morning, those that know, and they say this thing looks like a really good hire for the Florida Panthers.
I think it is. Paul Maurice has shown a history of success, a lot of success, whether it was in Carolina, regular season success in Toronto, and then, a lot of success in Winnipeg too. But that's what he said. They needed a new voice. The buttons he was pressing were no longer getting the same results. And that is the sign to me of a smart leader. You can push, and as a coach you want to win, but eventually you know that the things I'm doing aren't going to get the same result, right? And it'll be the same one day with this show, right? The buttons I press, from the business side, eventually we'll need a fresh voice to take us to the next level and the next level, right? And it's about recognizing that. So he recognized it, and now he gets a chance to be the new voice in a very talented locker room in Florida. And look out, Florida's going to be good again next year, and he might be the guy to get him over the hump.
Again, the guy's coached over 1,000 games. He did not win a Stanley Cup in Carolina. Peter Laviolette came in there just after Pomo, but he was coaching from the time of his mid-20s, Paul Maurice. Yeah. I thought he was done. Just clearly money wasn't a thing, but now he's taken over the Florida Panthers. So that's the big news today. And we are broadcasting live before a studio audience at the Stage Bar here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. So that was like the breaking news and 1A. 1B, I feel like we're going to need all the full 2 segments here in hour 1 to get through our topics that we want to talk about today. So Auston Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs was a major winner at the NHL Awards ceremony in Tampa Bay on Tuesday night. Matthews won the Hart Memorial Trophy for being the NHL's MVP. The Ted Lindsay Award for being the most outstanding player in the NHL's regular season is voted on by the players. Moritz Seider of the Detroit Red Wings won the Calder for top rookie. Igor Shesterkin of the New York Rangers won the Vezina for top goalie. And Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche won the Norris for top defenseman. So it looked like a gala night. And listen, I see people getting very upset over Matthews winning, Connor McDavid not. My thing is, number one, chill. Is it that big of a deal, really, in your life? Number two, for the Edmonton media and fans, you're biased, so take your opinion over here. And for Leafs fans like Moose, you take your opinion over here. Now, they're great players. They're individual awards, which is not what this sport's all about. Coach of the Year wouldn't win Coach of the Year without his players. Matthews isn't winning Player of the Year without his line mates. McDavid wouldn't be a finalist without his line mates. That is a fact. And while I would have voted for McDavid, I didn't have a problem with Auston Matthews getting it. I watched him play live a couple of times. I'm like, nobody's working harder out there than this guy, Auston Matthews. He's the straw that stirs the drink. And then my guy, Mike Johnson, sold me on TSN Sportsnet. He sold me. And over to you, Moose, as to why.
No, he
did.
As
to why Auston Matthews should win this thing.
Best season in the history of one of the most decorated franchises in league history, right? In the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, 60 goals. Nobody, winning the Hart. Nobody's won the Ted Lindsay Award in that franchise. He's had the best season in the history of the organization. And so you got to put that into perspective, and you realize that, no, he's pretty deserving of it. And I mean, I looked at the numbers on the voting. It was 119 votes for Matthews to 29 for McDavid, first place votes. Igor Shesterkin was close. He had 24. And your boy Jonathan Huberdeau had 13.
Hooby-dooby-doo.
So he actually got some consideration. Here's the points. They add them up, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Here's what McDavid had. 1,111. 1,111 points from McDavid. So you're thinking about him in second place. And then the other one, Makar winning the Defenseman of the Year. More people actually thought Roman Josi was deserving. He actually outbeat him 98-92 for first place votes. That's how tight the Defenseman of the Year was. So, good night last night.
Interesting. Just sprinkling in our viewer comments. Todd Pinkney, viewer watching, says the award should be given out during the first round of the playoffs, not 7 weeks after the season is done. It's a COVID thing. I saw people complaining about that on Twitter. We're all still out of whack. If you haven't noticed, it's a Wednesday, and it's night 3 of the Memorial Cup. Everything's still out of whack. Mm-hmm. So let's just chill about when it should be handed out, and let's just enjoy it. Randy from Winnipeg says the Conn Smythe is the only individual trophy that matters. I could go back and forth on that. I get what you're saying, but my point is, let's just not get bent out of shape about these awards. It's a democracy, for the love of Pete. That's what we do. We had a vote. This guy won. Let's move on. You know?
Yeah.
And again, it's a team game, individual awards I don't have a whole lot of time for. So I am going to move on to this. Victor Hedman and the Tampa Bay Lightning didn't win Victor Hedman of the Lightning didn't win the Norris last night, but he doesn't care because he's on the ice tonight for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Lightning, looking at three-peat as Cup champions, can tie the best-of-7 series at 2-2 with a win over the visiting Colorado Avalanche. 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. I just can't wait for the game. I'm pulling for Tampa. I just want a longer series, obviously, and let's make it a series. Fortunately, they did Monday night. And watching SportsCenter again, they talked about the 7-0 defeat. I didn't realize nobody has been beaten by 7 goals in the Stanley Cup Final in 103 years.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And what did we say Monday? I'd rather lose by 7 and know we weren't even in it than lose by 1 and think, if we tweaked a couple things, or maybe if we could blame the ref. No, you were that bad. You were embarrassed, and that's what forced them to turn the tables in Game 3. Can they keep that hunger rolling in Game 4 tonight? I don't know. I just hope that they can.
Easier to flush a 7-0 loss than a heartbreaker by a goal. That one sticks with you, and it's hard to flush that. But sounds like, Tampa's a little banged up with Point and Kucherov. Kucherov, I guess, is going to play tonight. Mm-hmm. And I think Colorado's hoping that Padre plays, be getting more time on the ice. But, I'm really looking forward to the game tonight.
Our Stanley Cup and NHL coverage is for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, plus Rod's Ranch, which I don't think we've had many for a while. But if we did, it's for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. To schedule maintenance or to learn more about our services, call 306-781-2090 or visit us at broncoplumbing.com. Point 3, the Edmonton Oil Kings won't have much time to dwell on their opening night loss at the Memorial Cup as the WHL champs face the host team tonight at the Memmer. They host the St. John Sea Dogs. Sea Dogs opened on Monday, beating Hamilton 5-3. The Oil Kings just last night, in a wild back-and-forth game, lost to the Shawinigan Cataract out of the Q 4-3. All I want to say is this. I watched some of that game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought, wow, TSN is doing an amazing job of these broadcasts. Dare I say, better than Sportsnet? There's a reason they call him Canada's sports leader. Just enjoyed all of it. They do a great job. But stop with the WHL reps haven't won at the Memorial Cup since 2016. Because I went and looked it up. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. Stick with me. They're saying no Western Hockey League representative has won a Memorial Cup round-robin game since 2016. Stop. In 2018, God's team, the Regina Pats, won 2 games in the Memorial Cup. Well, Rod, they were the host team. I don't care.
How about that?
They're a WHL team. So stop. And God bless our viewers who pointed out that no WHL rep has won since 2016. I don't care. The Pats team won 2 in 2018 and went to the final and lost 3-0 to the Acadie Bathurst Tetons. So I don't even want to talk about the fact that WHL hasn't won.
They might be the host team, but they were still representing the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, buddy.
And it wasn't that the league, doesn't matter. A Western Hockey League team has won in 2018. They haven't won since 2018, but they won in 2018. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it was a tough one for Edmonton because they had the lead in that game and gave it up. But I think the Oil Kings are right in it. They play again tonight. I think they'll be fine. Tonight's a big one for them.
Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, love Memorial Cup time. Come on, Dub. Let's get going. Now, he's right on that. We need a WHL champion. Nobody's won this thing from the dub. Who was the last?
Was it the Oil Kings?
I think it was. But we're just talking about regular season success, round robin success, and they need to get it rolling. Anyways, we're only 3 points through the Quick Six show topics. Coming up, we got the Blue Jays. We've got CFL Week 3. Going to play Deal or No Deal.
Okay.
And then I'm splitting point 6 into 2. 6A, Gronk retiring. And 6B, is the PGA in trouble? You'll be interested, I think, to get Moose's take on that. As a former full-time employee in the golf industry, you're watching the warm-up of the RP show live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus Television. We're also live streaming on YouTube, and we've got 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. By the way, people still talking about the Memorial Cup stuff from last night, which is cool. I just wanted to tell you, again, this summer and fall at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, In the Event Center, the Beach Boys coming July 28th, Randy Houser July 29th. Among the acts, Dancing Queen, a tribute to ABBA, August 13th. The Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th. Terry Fader, winner of America's Got Talent, September 16th. Tracy Morgan, bringing his No Disrespect comedy tour, September 29th. Go to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca to book your tickets, or Ticketmaster. Yeah, buddy. They say Calgary's entertainment destination. I feel like it might be all of Western Canada's entertainment destination. I'm not joking. If we bring the Moose in here and we had a mild, not an argument, but a miscommunication in the break, we were going through the dub champions of the Memorial Cup, and you're like, was Edmonton the last one? I'm like, I don't know. Let's check the big board. Yes, 2014. And then I'm going through the whole list. And before that, Vancouver in 2007. And before that, the Kelowna Rockets in 2004. The Kootenay Ice in 2002. Red Deer Rebels in 2001. You're like, what about Spokane? They didn't win. Yeah, I think they did. Didn't they break the cup? No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. And you were obviously watching. Yes. 2008, Dustin Tokarski of Watson Sask, the home of the world's largest Santa Claus, was on that team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our junior hockey coverage is brought to you by Cavendish Farms, proud supporters of junior hockey in Canada. And I love the fact that the games start at 4 p.m. Mountain out here. From a sports viewing perspective, Western Canada and the United States is way better than the East, clearly.
Yeah, the games are earlier.
Right.
So, yeah.
From a sports fan watching perspective, way better. Josh Harrison, point four. Josh Harrison hit a game-ending single with 2 outs in the 12th inning, and the Chicago White Sox beat the Blue Jays 7-6 in a wild one on Tuesday night. The Jays had the White Sox on the ropes, leading 4-2 with 2 outs in the 9th, but couldn't close the deal. The White Sox, who have won 6 of their last 8, will close their 3-game set against the Jays today. It is a 2:10 Eastern first pitch. Toronto has lost 5 of their last 6. Social media was alive with complaining about the umps last night and the Blue Jays not being able to close it out. So, yeah, people are awake. We're back to normal, Moose. People are bitching.
Yes.
Point 5 for you CFL fans. Somebody wrote in here, one of the viewers yesterday, and said, Rod, are you going to send an invoice to the CFL for promoting their product? And I'm like, no. We're just going to keep talking about what we want to talk about. That's what we do here. And we spend a lot of time on the CFL because we're big fans. I don't even pretend to be an insider anymore. So week 3 in the Canadian Football League opens on Thursday. Now would be a good time to ask you and tell you to vote on our poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center with dealerships all across the prairies. Which is Canada's game of the week in the Canadian Football League this week? Thursday night, Sask at Montreal. Friday night football, Hamilton at Winnipeg. And the Saturday doubleheader, Edmonton at Calgary, followed by Tirana at BC. I voted for the Elks and the Stampeders because I'm going to be there. That's a lot of wildlife on the field at one time. Elks and Stampeders. And 5 p.m. kickoff, we're going to be there. It's just going to be fantastic. That's my vote. What is yours?
Yeah, probably that one too.
Yeah?
Battle of Alberta and the CFL. I like it, for sure.
BOA.
Yeah, I think Edmonton took some strides in week 2. See if they get a little bit better in week 3. And, Calgary bailed themselves out. I think it could be a pretty good game.
Interestingly enough, in our poll on Twitter, I don't know what the Facebook vote's saying, but they're saying 32% leads the poll, Hamilton at Winnipeg, Friday night, IG Field. So it's been an interesting start to the CFL season. But again, you can look into any game and find something interesting about it, whether it's on the field or off. Let's spend a minute and talk about what the new owner of the BC Lions is doing. The guy is sharper than the edge of town, man, if I'm saying his name right. Amar Doman. We've had him on this show. They're, from what I can see, doing $5 concessions all night long. And I don't know the ins and outs of concessions, who gets the money, who doesn't, who runs it. Is it the Lions? Is it the facility? I don't know. But you probably saw his quote on Twitter saying, if I got to bite the bullet financially, it's worth it. Sorry, I forgot to turn the mics up here. I'll do it because I don't want our fans to stress about concession prices. And I'm like, what land does this man come from? And if this is the future of sports ownership and executives, oh boy, we're going back to the future here.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Everybody's talking about it.
Well, and he understands that we need to get people in the building first before we can soak them for all their money, right? I mean, he is a business owner after all, and at times, if he's got a full building, yeah, concession prices will go up probably. But he needs to get people into the building first. So if it needs to, he said, if I need to subsidize this, I will, because
that was the term.
That was the term he used. Whatever it takes to get people into the building. You know, you see, whether it's musicians, comedians, public speakers, or sports teams, they'll fill venues with free tickets. They'll literally pay people to be in the stadium to create a buzz and create an atmosphere and create demand. And if you get people into the product and you have a good product, it's going to create demand. He's doing it right in BC.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, and I know you don't like that term, and the PETA people really don't, but I don't know how else to say it. People aren't as interested in the sports business talk as we are, but that surprises me. Like, most of the media doesn't talk about the stuff that we talk about.
Right.
Like, you know, on SportsCenter, they're not talking about Amar Doman or Jerry Buss, or like we talk about it every day.
Yeah.
But in Dallas, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, this is what Jared Jones does. I've been there. He sells cheap beer, like really cheap beer, $6 Miller Lights. But then you go to the concession, because what happens? You get drunk, you get hungry. Oh, you would like an 8-inch pizza? It's $28 US. You want a medium popcorn? It's $20. You want butter? That's another $3. But that's Jared. But you could go to the game and just drink beer.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And be happy. But that's not everybody does it that way.
No, but the opposite. There's a really great restaurant in Montreal, and it's on the street. I think it's called The Warehouse, and everything on the menu is $5. You go for supper, your entree is $5, your appy is $5, everything's $5 except the booze. So you're hungry, you want a drink, you pay regular price for your beer and your wine and whatever else, but everything's fine. And they fill that patio all summer long. So that's another strategy. Same thing.
It's fascinating to think about, and I think that the fans mostly just like to watch the games, but I'm seeing more of a backlash on social media from people saying, I'm not paying these prices. You guys are out to lunch. Clearly not BC Lions fans, but fans of other teams. And I really think, because I've been in the meetings with the teams when I worked for the teams, they just think, they're bitching, they'll be back. And in most of the big leagues, they are. They do. People just like to bitch. Gas prices, your electrical bill, you gotta pay it, you know. So we'll see how it turns out, and we'll see how many people show up at BC Place Saturday night for what used to be the Braley Bowl, because David Braley used to own both teams, the BC Lions and the Toronto Argonauts. Arlen Bruce watching, Canadian Football Hall of Famer in waiting. He says, I'll be at the BC Lions versus Argos game in Vancouver Saturday. Diversity Day. Also, the owner is offering $5 concession stands. Is that for just that game, or is that till the end of time?
I think it's just that game.
Oh, okay.
But he may continue it if it's successful.
Randy in Winnipeg says, with inflation gone crazy, these places need to make things affordable. They do, and the BC Lions are leading the way on that. And listen, I get what you're saying about the price of gas. I'm saying to Darren, one thing that we like to do here in Calgary, and we've been here for a long time, is go for a drive. We'll make laps around the city, or we'll go out to the mountains. And I'm looking at this going, for a coffee. We'll go to Banff for a coffee. Take some nice photos and hang out.
Yeah.
But now with the price of gas, I'm kind of like, how about a walk?
We might not be doing that.
How about a walk? So I totally get where the fans are coming from, but I will not move off this when I say, if you don't want to go, you'll find a reason not to go. Like, if you really, really, really felt like you wanted to go to that Winnipeg-Hamilton game, you won't eat for a week. Or you'll take transit or whatever. That's a fact.
That's so true, and everybody forgets that side of the argument. Like, I've been broke. We've all been broke. But I still find a way to get that coffee at Tim Hortons in the drive-thru. I want the coffee. If the things you want, you find
a
ways
way
to get there, and you don't put up obstacles. You remove them. You find a way.
Jock Wilson coming up in hour two. Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk next segment to talk about Paul Maurice, the new head coach of the Florida Panthers. I've gotten to be good friends with the public address announcer of the Panthers, Andrew Imber, so that's how he says it. The Florida Panthers. You got to come down sometime.
I do.
Deal or no deal? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We may play it later again, too. This is what we do every week. We get the odds from Bet Regal, our exclusive betting partner, which is also the CFLs. We look at the betting line, and I asked Darren if he's taking the bet or not. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Thursday night, the Saskatchewan Roughriders at the Montreal Alouettes. Riders favored by 3.5. Deal or no deal?
Deal. I'll take that deal.
Friday, Hamilton at Winnipeg. Blue Bombers favored by 5. Deal or no deal?
Deal. I'll take Winnipeg.
Saturday, first of a doubleheader, Edmonton at Calgary. The football battle of Alberta. The Stampeders favored by 9.5. Deal or no deal?
No deal. Stamps win by a touchdown.
And the game we've been talking about, Toronto at BC. Lions favored by 4.5. Deal or no deal?
I'm going to take that deal. I'm going to take it at home. I like BC at home.
We'll revisit this later with my picks. Just to wind up the quick six here. 6A, Rob Gronkowski won't be joining Tom Brady for a third season with the Buccaneers. The 4-time All-Pro tight end announced his retirement for the second time in 3 years on Tuesday. He did it on Instagram. Here's what I think about Gronk. He just doesn't love football. And you would have scoffed at that, Darren, until you saw the Brady documentary on ESPN, which you finally were able to see. Brady loves football. That's why he keeps coming back and he can't go away. Gronk's tried to retire twice now, and I think he'll stay retired now. He just doesn't love football. It sounds weird, but it's a fact.
But his agent did say that if Tom calls mid-season, he could see Gronk coming back a second time out of retirement mid-season or next year if Tom picks up the
What
phone.
I'm saying is he loves to play games.
But yes.
He doesn't love to practice. Tom Brady is the kind of guy that loves to practice. He loves every nuance. He loves the meetings. I think he loves sitting in the cold tub. Gronk doesn't. He just wants to play Sunday and do the rest of his stuff the rest of the week. Right?
100%. There's a story.
And what's wrong with that?
There's a story about Gronk that he did 2 hours of training in 5 different shirts and sent the videos in the pandemic 5 different days in a different shirt, right? Because he didn't want to work out for 5 straight days.
So there you go. And we'll save this for hour 2, but Brooks Koepka, one of the first players to denounce a rival league for only having 48 players featured, is the latest PGA player to sign on with the Saudi-funded Live Golf Series. We're going to push that to hour 2, but the quick one in 30 seconds, I said to you, was the PGA going to be in trouble? And you said,
they already are.
Why?
They're already in trouble because this league has money. And this league's not going to go away quickly, and they're attracting the best players. That's important. Having money and having the best players. They've got both.
See you in hour 2. Feels like we have a lot to get over to get to.
You bet.
We're going to Winnipeg next. We're going to talk about Paul Maurice becoming the newest head coach of the Florida Panthers and what exactly went down with Pomo in Winnipeg. Doesn't matter now. Andrew Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk joins us next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. We're also live streaming on YouTube, and we've got 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show. Thank you for joining us live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino Stage Bar. By the way, coming up at the Grey Eagle, if you missed it earlier, the Beach Boys, July 28th, Nazareth with special guest, the Headpins on August the 12th, Dancing Queen, a tribute to ABBA, August 13th, the Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th, Terry Fader, September 16th, and Tracy Morgan, his No Disrespect comedy tour, September 29th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca or GreyEagleResortandCasino.ca. Well, big news today, breaking news. Paul Maurice is the new head coach of the Florida Panthers. Joining us to talk about it from Winnipeg Sports Talk is our good and longtime friend, Hustler Patterson. And Hustler, Darren Dreger had the scoop. We got to delve immediately into this one. What are the Florida Panthers getting in Paul Maurice?
What's up, Rod? Well, the Panthers are getting a very experienced head coach, one that knows the NHL as well as anyone, and one that comes off of, a very long stint by any NHL standards here in Winnipeg. It's a fascinating move by Florida. I think most of us agreed that Andrew Burnett did a hell of a job through this season. I mean, that was a real challenging situation he was thrown into, and Coach Q had to step down. And, I mean, you'd know better than anyone. You were there for half the season, it seemed, watching the Panthers. They were the cream of the crop in the NHL. Now, the disappointment of getting pumped by Tampa obviously made them reevaluate things. And there was a ton of real quality coaching candidates available this summer. The way things went through, I mean, we didn't really even know that Andrew Burnett was out until we knew Paul Maurice was in. So it was an unconventional route that they went, but they're getting a guy that I'm sure is looking for a fresh start after things went stale here in Winnipeg, to use his own words. And it's going to be one of the most fascinating situations in the NHL to check out when the puck drops in October.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Highly awkward situation in Florida. They didn't want to get rid of Joel Quenneville, but pretty much had to. So Andrew Burnett, they're not going to bring in somebody new. And had they even put up a fight against Tampa, I think Bruno maybe keeps his job. But they did not. So Paul Maurice is taking it over. But when you look at Paul, like the Florida fans are writing me today and saying, what happened in Winnipeg with Pomo? You said it, that it got stale, but let's just go a little deeper than that. They made the playoffs every year, right? I would think that Paul feels proud of his time in Winnipeg.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things that Maurice did incredibly well. I mean, I think we have to look at it over the entire body of work. He came in and took over a team that was floundering under Claude Noel, and immediately turned them into a better hockey club. I think they maybe made the playoffs in 2015, a little ahead of schedule. And then he signed on for what was essentially a rejigging of this hockey club over the course of the next few years that saw them miss the playoffs, but get Patrick Laine, and then turned into, one of the best teams in hockey, certainly in that 17-18 season. I think there's a reason why you see coaches, for the most part, only stay with teams for 4, 5, 6 years. When you go back and do the autopsy of Maurice's time, I think probably he was there a little bit too long. But it's not really a knock on him. It's just that, this team, got into somewhat of a funk. There was obviously dressing room issues in 2019. And if there was ever a time you thought that maybe the time would have been to make that change, it was probably after that 2019 season. But certainly management and especially ownership absolutely believed in Paul Maurice and wanted him to come back and be the guy that would be the steward of this hockey club to take them to where they wanted to go. And unfortunately, the last couple seasons, especially last year, was incredibly disappointing. And I still think of that day in December when Maurice shockingly resigned the morning of a game day against the Washington Capitals. And when we heard from him speak, he had said that he had this conversation before. I mean, I think Maurice is smart enough. He's he's a brilliant man. I will say that much. Many people have different opinions on, his coaching style and whatnot. But I think he knew that it really was time. And I also think he knew that if the team kept playing the way the way they were playing, the Jets probably wouldn't have an option but to make a move. So, he steps away, gets a little bit of time away from hockey for the rest of the season, spends some time with the family, and obviously is still a very driven man. And what an opportunity he's got to get into Florida. How he fits in with this Panthers team will be fascinating, because the Panthers were the most high-flying team in the National Hockey League. I mean, they scored at will, and they were more than happy to beat you 7-5 or 6-4 on many nights. I'm not sure whether that will be Paul Maurice's MO when he gets in. I think they realize that they probably need to do a better job defensively. But honestly, defensively, especially the last couple of seasons, was an Achilles heel of the Winnipeg Jets. I don't necessarily put that on Paul Maurice. I put that in the buy-in of some of the top players that I don't think did him any service with the way that they responded to, the opportunities that they were given and the responsibility that they were given. So he's going to feel like he died and gone to heaven, though, when he goes and has a number one center like Alex Barkov, who, is a, common finalist for the Selke Trophy. It'll be a different team that he'll be working with, but there's a hell of a lot of talent. And this could be the best opportunity Paul Maurice has in his long, illustrious coaching career to actually get his name on the Stanley Cup.
Everybody's excited in South Florida for it. And now, by virtue of this game of mutual chairs, as the music's about to stop, there's only one chair left open, I think. It's the Winnipeg Jets. There's a lot of coaches still out there, but Barry Trotz is the one they want. What's taken so long, Huss?
Well, listen, Rod, I mean, we spoke, at the beginning of this whole ordeal when Barry Trotz was fired, which stunned myself and many people after his time in New York. And listen, Barry Trotz was at the top of the list of many teams, and he was going to vet this process. He wasn't going to make a decision quickly. And I think there's a number of things that come into Barry Trotz. Obviously, he wants to be compensated wherever he goes. That wasn't an issue. I mean, he reportedly turned down $7 million from the Philadelphia Flyers. But there's also the reports that he is not only looking for a spot to, coach for the final time in the National Hockey League, but have a path into management, into the front office. And listen, I've been saying this, back when we were dreaming of potentially Barry Trotz being available here in Winnipeg and on WST, that he's the perfect candidate for the Winnipeg Jets for a number of reasons. This dressing room was broken. They need someone to come in. And I'm sure there's a number of first-time coaches that will be great coaches. I'm not sure that works in Winnipeg right now. I think you need someone that comes in, that has a ring, that has that element of experience that he can go and say, this is the way things are happening, and get the buy-in from players that want to be there. And if not, they're going elsewhere. The other thing is for the franchise. I mean, last year was a real rough one for the city, the fan base, and certainly for True North. And Barry Trotz immediately, if he comes here, knowing that he was the first choice all along of many teams, I think handles quite a bit of the erosion of maybe some of the confidence of the fans and the direction of the team. And obviously, you've got an incredible home province story. I mean, he is a Manitoba hockey legend. He's one of the winningest coaches in the National Hockey League history. And it would be a win on so many levels. Why is it taking so long? I think there's a lot of work to be done to get Barry Trotz to sign on the dotted line. From what we are hearing, this is going to be a very crucial week. We expected the meetings to happen last weekend. They were pushed back to at some point this week. I know there's a number of other organizational meetings that are happening today and into the next couple days, so we don't have exact confirmation as to when that will happen. But the Winnipeg Jets, really from day one, have set their sights on Barry Trotz. I think they've been patient through it all. We've seen many of the other dominoes fall that we really thought would happen after Trotz made his decision. And now it seems like it, in some ways, is Jets or bust. Now, there has been rumors that Barry Trotz has opportunities to go back to Nashville in some sort of a management role. And the bottom line is, if he wants to take it easy and see what happens this season, he can sit back and collect $4 million for the New York Islanders. But he is the priority. I think there's a full court press on for the Winnipeg Jets to get Barry Trotz. And, you know, from a fan standpoint, that's all you can ask. The organization does everything they possibly can to get the best choice for the hockey club going into the future. They've done that. Most people around here hope it works out. If it doesn't, there will be others like Jim Montgomery, who's been mentioned that certainly could be a positive addition to the coaching staff. But I would be lying if I didn't say the vast majority of people around this city and this province have their hearts set on Barry Trotz. And we know the impact that he's made in the past in the NHL and what he could do with a roster here in Winnipeg that, while underperforming, still has some elite talent thrown out there every night.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's interesting to watch. I guess we'll know by July 1st. But Huss, I watched your show yesterday. Very entertaining as always. Catch him on YouTube Live right after hours today. Winnipeg Sports Talk. Thanks, my friend. Stay in touch.
Oh, you be well, Rod. All the best.
A wonderful update from Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk. We have a taco time viewer takeover coming up next. Jock Wilson's going to join us down here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for hour 2. You're watching on the Game Plus television network. We're streaming on YouTube Live. And if you missed any portion of the show, you can always catch it wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is taco time, viewer takeover, and we'll tell you what they're saying out there in a minute. But first, a sports update today. The Fraser Valley Bandits came away with a close 90-85 victory over the Guelph Nighthawks on Wednesday night to win their Tuesday night to win their third game in a row in Canadian Elite Basketball League play. The Bandits are now 6-2 in the season. Guelph 6-4. And in what ended up being a game of runs, the Niagara River Lions staved off a late Ottawa Blackjacks comeback to win 90-86 in the nation's capital. There are no CEBL games tonight. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final will be played this evening in Tampa Bay, with the visiting Colorado Avalanche looking to move within one win of winning their first Stanley Cup since 2001. Colorado leads the series 2-1. It's an 8 p.m. Eastern face-off on Sportsnet in Canada and ESPN in the United States. The Toronto Blue Jays send Ross Stripling to the mound today in their series finale with the Chicago White Sox. The Jays have been looking to avoid a sweep. The host White Sox topped Toronto 7-6 in 12 innings last night after winning Monday's opener 8-7. Stripling 3-1 with a sparkling 1.04 ERA. And Brooks Koepka is the latest PGA Tour player to sign with the Saudi-backed LIV Golf Series. Koepka gives LIV another big name because of his 4 major titles. He withdrew from the PGA Tour's Travelers Championship in Connecticut last night. The next LIV Golf event starts June 30th, just outside Portland. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, your official home of Slow Pitch, open Wednesday to Sunday. This sports update also for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Let's just see what's popping on the text line. I didn't talk about the biggest breaking news of all, and that is that Paul Maurice is the new head coach of the Florida Panthers. And we really appreciate our Manitoba viewers, by the way. Wilf is watching in Steinbach, Manitoba. He's written in on the 902 text line. You can always write us at 902-518-3033. Wilf says, predicted Paul Maurice would coach. Should bring him on the RP show. That's a great idea, Wilf. Write it down, Clark. We've got, obviously, a tremendous relationship with the Florida Panthers that goes way back to last September. People really wondered, what were they doing then? Now you're starting to see. And my phone was blown up this morning. Those Panthers fans really wondering what they're getting in Pomo. Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute of play. Regarding the BC Lions offering $5 concessions on Saturday night when the Toronto Argonauts are there, Ward in Winnipeg writes in and he says, hey, Rod and Moose, Bombers have $5 beer, $3 hot dogs, 2 hours before kickoff every game. Signed, Ward. It's awesome, man, and we were there last year. Bombers gave us tickets to sit with their players' families. It was amazing, and the buzz in Winnipeg was you need to be at the game 45 minutes before the game to get this cheap beer and hot dogs. The place was full. There's a lot of people in the CFL going, what are they doing over there? This. And now BC and Edmonton are doing it too. Jock Wilson's going to join us next hour to talk some CFL, NHL, and whatever else comes up. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back after this break on Game Plus TV.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Bernie Nichols joins us as he does every week. I'm wondering, you obviously watched the game. What do you expect in Game 4?
I've always said in the playoffs, home ice and coaching doesn't really mean a lot, right? Like a lot of teams play better on the road than they do at home. And I've always said, too, until you lose a home game, you're never in trouble. And I expect Tampa to win tomorrow and then see if Colorado hold home ice when they get back home.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It sure is. Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans in the United States. Welcome to the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. We're airing across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Of course, in Alberta and BC on Telus Optic Cable carries the wonderful Game Plus channel. Major treat for you. Our guest coming up, we'll put a camera on him in a second. Jock Wilson from AM CHQR 770 Calgary. Going to bring him on in a second. This is why we love daytime sports talk. We're getting at it before everybody else. There's breaking news today. Paul Maurice is the new head coach of the Florida Panthers. TSN's Darren Dreger breaking the news this morning on the day of Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. I want to get Jocko's thoughts on that. He's a man. We can bring him on now. He can talk about anything. Jocko, welcome to the RP show, man.
How are you, Rod?
Really good.
First time.
Yes.
First time. Like, what happened? You lost my contact information or what?
Well, I got it the other day. Thank God. Listen, I got to say, this guy, he and I have been around each other, known each other a real long time. And I got more info out of you in the last 30 seconds than I have in the last 30 years, where you're from, how old you are. But he was on my radar. I came out here to go to college in 1990, driving my 1984 Mustang L, listening to 66 CFR, Calgary Flames Radio. Jock was the host. And I thought you were just a little bit older than me. You look so good, Jock.
Well, thank you. Putting on a few pounds, but
and then we got in the CFL circles together and all that. And believe me, that rider stamps things behind us. We didn't like each other very much back in the day, but it's all behind.
It's all good.
It's a rivalry thing.
Yeah, it's
right?
all good. Hey, I like you more than Bo Levi does. So it's.
I'm not saying much. You were at the golf tournament the other night.
Yes, I beat Bo Levi.
It was kind of awkward in the room.
Count back. It's good.
The guys were saying, they're like, Jock must be an unbelievable golfer. You won the whole thing.
You know, it's funny. Like I told you, I'm nearing 60. I turned 60 this year. And my team, I had these 4 young bucks. You know, and they're all late 20s, and they could bomb the freak out of that ball. So they could hit it long. All I did was put it in play, and then they would bomb it to the green and go for the green in 2, and they could putt. I helped with a couple of putts, so I did absolutely nothing, Rod.
Do you golf a lot?
You know what? I'm a golfaholic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? And it's funny because this is Calgary. So I have a buddy that has a place at Westman Village here, and they've got a golf simulator. So I was religious all winter long. Every week we would play golf on the simulator, and I'm feeling good about my game. And then, of course, springs rolls around, the Stampeder season starts, and shoot. I didn't get out, and the rain gets, I don't play in the rain because that's just too much work.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much work. So, my outdoor game hasn't been as good as my indoor game, let's put it that way.
Well, this is a pretty good part of the world to love golf, though.
There's some great golf courses in this city.
Yeah.
Great golf courses in this city. And, if you love the game of golf, hey, you know what? We're blessed, and it's funny about golf because, they say Jack Nicklaus saved golf, they say Tiger Woods saved golf, and then COVID saved golf. Because golf was dying a slow death. No one wanted to play golf, and then it was the one thing you could do during COVID, and sure enough, golf has taken off again, which is fantastic.
Here we are. Well, listen, I know this is going to go real far. Quick. I don't think Jock and I have done a show together before. So
I
have a lot of things.
I had you on my show once.
Right, but to be in the same room, we haven't. But speaking of tattooed, outspoken quarterbacks. Is that why you're wearing a Texas A&M Aggies T-shirt? What's the story?
No, the story on Texas A&M, my daughter is an NCAA athlete, and of course she is an Aggie, and has been an All-American. And she's a springboard diver. She's part of the Canadian national team as well, which is fantastic. So, and you just jump. And this is a funny story.
Sure.
So, it's a COVID story, and they tell us to follow the science, right? Follow the science with COVID and everything else from that standpoint. So I go to College Station in Texas I guess it was November.
First time
at College Station. My daughter was at LSU originally, and then she transferred to Texas A&M. So I go to this big football game. It's Auburn against Texas A&M, a very, very big game. And because the COVID rules, you have to get a PCR test 72 hours before you come back to Canada. So sure enough, I go get the PCR test, and this is where the science really doesn't make any sense to me. So I go get a PCR test on the Friday. I go to the football game on Saturday with 107,000 of my friends, and then I get on a plane coming back to Calgary going, well, that really makes sense.
Doesn't it?
But hey, that's COVID, and we were a little COVID crazy in this country.
Well, I know. I'm not sure that we're totally over it. I'm afraid to say that we're in post-pandemic times. But I will say something. Listen, we could talk about that college football thing forever. I got a buddy, Brian Dodge, in South Florida. We've done the show from his house a couple times. And did you know the NBA didn't show up in Florida till 1988? The NHL didn't get there till the early 90s. The NFL was the only thing they had. That's why college sports is so big in certain states, because they didn't have big-time sports for the longest time. It's insane, hey. They're in college
stations. Is there anything better than a college football game?
Not much.
And the atmosphere?
Not much.
Like, it is freaking crazy, Rod, as you know, because I know you've been to a couple of games as well. As I mentioned, 107,000, at Key Stadium. It's unbelievable. But the tailgating, we talk about the tailgating here in Calgary with the Stampeders. It's great. It's fun. You do a tailgating party at a college football game, and this is a funny story too. So I was at this game. We had the tailgate party happening, and everybody's there. They have parking lots set up strictly for tailgating. They got sewer, they've got power, they've got everything hooked up, and you pay a lot. And of course, it's all part of the Aggie network. If you wear the Aggie ring and you're a graduate and you're part of the family, everything from that standpoint. This one guy that was beside us in the tailgating party. I said, "Hey, that's a really nice RV you have." He goes, "Yeah, you know what? I was on a waiting list for this spot. Didn't have an RV, so I finally got the spot. So I had to go buy a $300,000 RV just to get his, But that's how crazy they are.
And wouldn't think twice about it, probably.
No, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
He was
well,
happy.
So speaking of tailgating,
yes.
I want to take in this vaunted, legendary Stampeders tailgating this Saturday that I've been hearing about for years. The Elks are here, obviously, on Saturday. Now, COVID didn't save the CFL. That almost killed it, but they survived.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get back to the good old days? Because you remember when we sold out every game in those 2000s?
Yeah.
Across the country.
Yeah, did we sell them out, Rod? Or
darn close.
Or did we paper the buildings? I think, I love Ron Rook. I know there were a lot of free tickets that were given out here in Calgary, but the stadiums look good, and you had 30,000 people at McMahon Stadium, and it was fantastic. And every time the Riders came to town, it was a sellout, and the Battle of Alberta was a sellout as well. But you had a lot of people in the stadiums, and you're right. COVID had effect, and I think I was talking to you this about on Monday as well. Hey, the economy is taking a beating right now too. Like Saskatchewan fans, Saskatchewan better than I do, but our fans from Saskatoon going to jump in their F-150, pay an extra $150 in gas to get to Regina, and then drive back to Saskatoon. That just adds more money.
They say they're not.
Yeah, they say they're not. Well, and that makes sense. And then you get to the stadium, and even on our talk show, and it's not that I'm here to question, because I don't own the team. I don't know what the business model is for a team. But we get a lot of people saying, you get to the stadium and you got to pay $10 for a burger and you got to pay $11 for a Coors Light. You got to know your audience, right? You got to know your demographic. This is not the NHL. You really have to be sensitive about what your demographic is at the stadium. The new BC owner, he got it right. You bring in One Republic. One Republic was a halftime show for the Canadian Football League's Grey Cup Championship. That's a big band. You get them for a pregame show in Vancouver. Did you see that younger crowd in Vancouver? It was fantastic. That's what
biggest crowd in almost a decade.
Yeah, no, and that's what you really need to do. And hey, I love the Western heritage. I love the country, atmosphere. I love the Calgary Stampede here in Calgary, but for goodness sakes, do we always have to go the Western route? Do we always have to bring in the Western bands? Keith Urban was great. Don't get me wrong. He was great for the Grey Cup 107. But it drives me nuts after a while. Saying, okay, I don't need country every single freaking time.
He qualifies as a global, by the way, Keith. Because I always say it should be a Canadian act. I always say it should be. He was a global act, and of course, I'm a country guy, so you never hear me complaining about that. But the thing is, though, Jock, they changed 9 rules, as you know, in the off-season, and they're almost negligible. Have you noticed in the games these rules changes?
I think scoring is up slightly in the Canadian Football League.
They say it is,
We're only a couple of games into the season, so I think scoring is up slightly, and we've had it here in Calgary. Richard Sindani has been in play, and of course that's that wide-out position where normally the receiver would never, get the ball at that wide-out position. He had over 100 yards in the first game. So I think, we have to give it a little more time. You know the game really well. It's all about field position, right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind what they've done to special teams, moving the kickoffs back a little bit more, after field goal, putting the ball on the 40-yard line. These are things that will give offenses more opportunity. The hash marks, the jury's still out for me. I don't know about you, but we'll see how that plays out.
Well, I wondered, offensively, the numbers aren't much different. I thought the kickers would have an easier time, but those made field goal percentages are about the same. But the thing is, we had a sponsor here of ours. We're having in the restaurant, and I said, "What do you think of the rule changes?" It was the day they were announced, and she goes, "I don't care. I just want to go to the game and drink and have fun." I just wonder how many people really that speaks for more people, I think, than those that care about the rule changes.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting, but I think the games have been compelling this year. The BC game obviously was a blowout, so that's not good if you're an Edmonton Elk fan. The two preseason games the Stampeders played, they were blowouts. They beat BC, they beat Edmonton, pretty hard. But the last two games the Stampeders have played in have been very compelling. Obviously not very good first halves, very good second halves, and you win, either in overtime or a last-minute field goal. So I think those games have been compelling, and I would say the majority of games in the Canadian Football League have been good. But again, it's a really small sample size, so let's see how this plays out.
Gino DePauli, the voice of the Okotoks Oilers, watching. He says the 2000s was the absolute best time for the CFL. The Friday night doubleheader was the best, especially the Henry Burris Stampeders. Never a dull Friday back then. And you said it's not the NHL. Has it ever had the profile of the NHL? The ratings back then would say that it did, Jock.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think so, because, and I only say that because this is Canada, and I know you go into the United States, but in Canada we are a hockey country. And because of that, maybe Saskatchewan's different because that's your, the Riders are your team. But when you're in Vancouver and you're in, Alberta, with the two teams, and it's all about hockey, and hockey does rule. Maybe back, 70 years ago, and I wasn't around back then, so who knows, from that standpoint. But ever since the Flames have come into this town, and that was 1980, it's been about hockey, and all the other properties have had to really work hard to try to, be something different. So I don't know, but you talk about the 90s and what Gino was just saying there. Roy Shivers yesterday, as you know, and Roy pretty well, goes to the Hall of Fame. And what did he say? He was on my show last night, and he said, I don't remember the championships, and he won 2 here in Calgary with Wally Buono in 92 and 98. He says, I remember the ones we lost. He says, He says, holy shoot, we should have won like 5 championships. That team was so good, and they couldn't put it together and get it done because there was, obviously the Darren Flutie, situation against Hamilton. But that was a team back in the 90s where, the Stampeders were winning like 15 games a season, and they were a dominant team in the league. And you talk to a lot of guys that even played on that 92 team, they're going, how did we not win more championships?
It's unbelievable. I'm glad that you swung it around to that. I tried to interview Shiv for my book on the Riders back in the day, and he hung up on me.
Did he?
Yes.
Well, you want to hear a Shiv story yesterday?
Please do.
So I called him yesterday. I say, Shiv. He goes, Jock, I'm just getting out of the shower. Can you call me back? So I said,
he's in Vegas?
He's in Vegas. It was 3 o'clock in Calgary. It was 2 o'clock his time. And so I say, no problem. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. He goes, perfect. Call him back in 30 minutes. No answer. So he's ghosted me. And so finally I get a hold of him at 5:30 in the afternoon. I say, Shiv, it's Jock, call him back. And he goes, I'm just taking a nap. I'm going, well, God.
And now you know why we don't get along. I was just tired of that stuff. But you can't. He was great at what he did, and I think it's pretty cool to have a scout type, because that's what he is. He's a personnel guy.
Oh, without a doubt.
Go into the Hall of Fame, because you don't see that a lot.
No, and you know what? He was Wally's right-hand man here in Calgary, and he was a bird dog, and he went out there and he got the Alan Pitzes of the world, and he brought in a lot of those big name players, and was very responsible. Wally was the architect, he was the coach. But, the guy that really put it together was Shiv.
Oh, man. We got a couple minutes here. We'll have to get into this more deeply into the next segment. But I didn't know. You told me on Monday that you'd been fired. It happened. I didn't know that had happened.
Oh, yeah.
It happens to all of us. And I think about Wally in 2003 here. Wally he must still lay awake at night and go, did that actually happen? What did you think at the time? How do you reason that?
Yeah, you don't really. There's no way you can reason that because a very, very successful coach. All the winning, but as you know, Rod, and you can see what's happening in the National Hockey League right now. Coaches are hired to be fired, and their shelf life gets a little bit old. And I've told this story on my own radio show. I remember when I was doing the Calgary Flames broadcast. Brian Sutter was the head coach of the Calgary Flames, and anyway, I go into the dressing room. I'm talking to the guys. And I'm hosting. I'm not doing the Flames broadcast at the time, but I am hosting my own show called Sports Talk with Jock. So I go into the dressing room, and the guys are telling me, they go, Brian, he has lost the room. He is not doing a good job. His whole mantra is to work harder, work harder, work harder. We're not learning anything, and they weren't a very good team. And so I go on my high horse, kind of like a Rod Pedersen rant, and I basically say, okay.
Why do we do that? Anyways,
and I say the Flames, of course, you're hosting a sports talk show, so you've got to have an opinion, right? So I go on my high horse and I say, yeah, the Flames have got to fire Brian Sutter. And while you're at it, you may as well get rid of Al Coates because he's the architect of the team. And, so I went on for an hour and I just carved into them and I just did that. And you got to remember, we're the rights holders. I wasn't doing the broadcast, but we were still the rights holders. So to make a long story short, Coatesy and Brian were fired about 4 weeks later. I was fired 5 weeks later. So
would you do it again?
You know what? Because the players, because I had the trust of the players. I was in the dressing room. The players are telling me the story. I think it was time. It was time for a coaching change. There's no question.
As they say, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's hard to figure out at the time why. So we'll get into the CFL, NHL stories, and whatever else you folks would like to talk about when we come back. This guy's been doing sports talk for a very long time. He can cover all the bases. We'll be right back here watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live at the Stage Bar at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Great place, by the way, Rod.
Jock Wilson is with us.
I used to host my football broadcast here from the same stage.
So I didn't know that.
Yes.
So the pre- and post-game show, or what was that?
It was pre- and post-game show for the Calgary Stampeders, and great partners here at Grey Eagle. So good on you.
Well, it's interesting because we've been here, as you know, over 3 months now total, and what I've learned, they like the Flames here. They love the Stampeders.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is and why, but they really love the football team here.
No, and if you haven't been to this casino, check it out because they got the great event center too. They've had some great sporting events there. They've had some great concerts. So it's a very nice location, and they get that parking lot figured out. They'll be outstanding.
It's not big enough.
I know.
That's the only problem. By the way, coming to the Grey Eagle Event Center, which Jock was mentioning, the Beach Boys, July 28th, the Tea Party with One Bad Son, August 3rd, Nazareth with special guest The Headpins, August 12th, Dancing Queen, a tribute to ABBA, August 13th, Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th, Terry Fader, September 16th, and Tracy Morgan's comedy tour, the No Disrespect Tour, September 29th. I missed Jeff Foxworthy. I think I was in Florida for that. I would have loved to have seen Jeff
Did I just tee that up for you? Nice segue.
Thank you.
Yes,
nice. You did, actually. Yeah. Thank you, Jock. And, okay, I don't want to get into these ticket prices and the attendance.
Yeah. No, I know.
And you don't either. And I think I brought it up, so I'm not putting it on you. John in Edmonton, I'll give them one. John watching in Edmonton says, Jock, do you think a rise in gas prices and food costs have a factor in CFL attendance?
Oh, there's no question. And I made that comment, obviously with Saskatchewan, and are you going to jump in your 150 and drive from Saskatoon to Regina? That just adds so much more. And again, I'm not a businessman. I don't know what the bottom lines are for these football clubs. But when you got the BC Lions owner saying he's going to subsidize and dip into his own pocket to help for $5 beers, fantastic. Fantastic.
Can't beat that.
No, you can't, because I do think you do price yourself out of the market after a while. So, again, it goes back to knowing your demographic, knowing what you got, because we do have to attract younger fans.
Ted in Red Deer says, I've said it before, only pros on this show. Always great info and conversation. That's why when I saw you the other day at the golf tournament, how long before I asked for your number? I'm like, Jock, we got to get you down here. So I appreciate it.
No problem.
A broadcaster, a professional one. Trent in Norway watching. He says, Norway here, the Avs will take Game 4 and be faster in all aspects than Tampa. Austin Matthews deserved the Hart Trophy without question. McDavid needs more time and success. May the Riders beat the Owls. That's from Trent in Norway. So a couple things. The Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
If the Flames had come up against Colorado, would they have put up any more of a fight?
No. They would have got just stomped too. Colorado's too fast, too good. The only Achilles heel for Colorado was their goaltender. And obviously, I thought it was going to be Edmonton's Achilles heel against the Flames, because I thought Markstrom was a better goaltender than Mike Smith, and I think deep down he is a better goaltender, but it just didn't work out.
In that
way.
series, he wasn't, right?
And I think you're seeing it. You saw it in the last game. Darcy Kemper gets yanked, and if you're going to give me, Vasilevsky against Darcy Kemper, I'll take Vasilevsky 10 times out of 10. And I'm not counting out Tampa Bay yet, because they did the same thing against the Rangers. They fall behind 2-0. They come home, and then they just pump the Rangers. And what have they won? 8 in a row at home. So. Hey, I like the Avalanche. Love Cale Makar. Love what they've done. Like to see a new champion. But I'm not counting out Tampa Bay just yet.
Should be a great Game 4 tonight.
Yeah, I would agree.
And about the Flames, by the way, I loved your stories. You said you and the Sutters, can I say, have an acrimonious relationship.
I'm not getting Christmas cards from the Sutters.
Well,
no.
You've been a long-time Calgary radio guy, and there's been 3 Sutters coach the Flames, right? Yeah. Arnie Jackson was pointing that out to me in the press box of the night. Daryl twice, Brian and Brent.
That's right.
And it hasn't been with the most success. Like, what are you supposed to do?
The 04 run was great and exciting, and Daryl, did a great job. Hey, Daryl's a great coach. Daryl's not a great general manager, but he's a great coach. And I'm not taking anything away from the Sutter brand and the Sutter family, because what that Sutter family has done in this city, in this province, in this country, put Louis Sperm in the Hall of Fame, for goodness' sake.
They're royalty.
Yeah,
yes.
they really are. They really are. So, but hey, sometimes change has to be made, and you go from that standpoint.
Where are the Flames? Where are they going?
Well, obviously it depends on Johnny and Matthew. So, are you going to get those players signed? And the clock is ticking. From that perspective, I wish I had some inside information that I could say, hey, Johnny's going to be signed tomorrow.
Nobody seems to know.
No, it's I don't have any inside information. The Flames obviously need to get those players signed, sealed, and delivered. But they're going to obviously give them big money, and that's going to put them up against the cap. And, the Flames had a really, really good regular season, but were they good enough to compete, against teams like Edmonton and Colorado? They're not as good as Colorado. Let's call it what it is. And this Colorado team, they're going to be strong for a few more years. So I think from that perspective, that's up to the general manager, Brad Treliving, to see what he can do to make this team better. I don't know. It's going to be tough. In the salary cap world, Rod, it's a really tough thing.
Very hard. Very hard.
And this is my one knock on Darryl. I don't think he gives the young players. He says he does, but I don't think he gives young players an opportunity. And why did you have Trevor Lewis in the lineup when you could have had Adam Rosichka in the lineup? Young player. Darryl doesn't want to go with the younger players. Yusuf Alamaki, he's probably wasted under Darryl, and I think you're just going to go a different way because and again, that's maybe my disconnect with the head coach. He'll give me a different answer, but that's my own opinion.
Well, number one, you see the live studio audience. I said, if my job was to entertain the Grey Eagle staff for the rest of my life here, I would be happy with it. Obviously an Avalanche fan. Which one of you started cheering? Right here. A couple of you. So you got a big fan there, Jock.
Perfect.
You said live studio audience for yourself when you were doing Stamps football. But I will just say this before we move to the CFL, and I said to Jock, this is Western Canada. NHL, CFL should be our topics. And then everything else a distant third, in my opinion. But Brad Treliving, I put him in as a finalist for GM of the Year, and I mean it. I guess he didn't make it last night. It was Sakic, Brisebois, and Chris Drury, which I don't think a first-year rookie GM should get it. But Brad surprised a lot of people, including me. You
know what? When they went out and they made those trades, and they brought in Tyler Toffoli, and it just added to their overall depth. And Blake Coleman was a really good add from that perspective. I wasn't sold on Eric Branson, but I thought Eric had a very good season. So yeah, some of the pieces he put together, is important. And now you got to build on that and see how it goes. Hey, Brad, don't get me wrong. You've had Matthew and Johnny signed to really good value contracts. $7 million is a good value contract as far as I'm concerned for that type of talent. Now it's going to be more interesting. How much is that value? I don't think you're getting any hometown discounts from Matthew or Johnny.
Because it's not their hometown.
Well, it's not their hometown.
Right.
You got it.
So to the CFL, and I'm sure you're very tired with the stadium debate, both arena and stadium, but BW in Edmonton says, could the Stampeders rebuild a new football stadium on the McMahon site or even move out to Grey Eagle area? Where are you on the whole football stadium?
I had my issues with Ken King, the late Ken King, and Ken King and I, we went back and forth a few times. I will say this, Ken King had such a vision when he presented Calgary Next. And that was when you were going to get a field house, the new event center, and the new football stadium all in the West Village. They were going to clean up the crap, the creosote that was going into the water. It was such a great vision. And of course, some of our city officials don't have the same vision, that they had from that standpoint. I've been in this business, for 40 years here in Calgary. We've been talking about a field house for the 40 years I've been here. We've been talking, from my understanding, for 50 years, and we still can't get it done. So shame on city officials that we can't get a field house in the city. Hey, the Saddle Dome, it was great for the 1988, Winter Olympics. The fact that we dropped the ball, and I'll blame the NDP government on this when they were in power. When first of all they cut back the money they were going to send for the 2026 Olympic bid, and then they forced the city into going to a referendum. It never really works, and it was too bad, because how do you increase your facilities? And this is always a contentious issue when you talk about taxpayers' money. But if you want federal money, if you want provincial money, if you want city money, you got to host a major event. That's how Edmonton got Commonwealth Stadium. That's how we got the Saddle Dome to begin with. And it's so sad to see what has happened to this city, because we used to be a world-class city. We're still great. Don't get me wrong. We got the mountains close by. We got Banff close by. We got all these great bike cycle tracks, everything from that standpoint. But our facilities suck, Rod. They really do. They really do. And how much more of a lifespan does McMahon Stadium have? I don't know. You talk to people around like Stan Swartz. He told me 5 years ago that it probably has maybe a 20-year lifespan left. So does that make it now 15? I don't know. And Ken King used to always say you can only put so much lipstick on a pig. And realistically, you're right. It's vantage points, great. But it's a tough building. The concourses are bad. Anyway, I seem like I'm ranting here right now.
Well, I want to give you that opportunity.
But I'll tell you this. I'm 60 years old. We're not getting a new stadium in my lifetime. I don't see it. I don't see it happen.
That's unfortunate. And to be honest, I asked you this at the golf tournament. Like, I don't know if you know, now that I know your background, I am the son of a farmer rancher from small town Saskatchewan.
Okay.
I might lean a little right. So I said to, and I don't want to make this a political show, believe me, I don't. But I thought, how could this town, Yellowstone, have a left-wing attitude, let alone a city council?
It's changed.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Nobody seems to know. Okay, fair.
Enough politics.
Right. So having said that, Saturday there's a game. Edmonton's here. That's how we started this conversation. I can't wait to go tailgating. I'm going to be in the crowd, man. That's what I love about this job. I don't need or want to be in the press box where you can't cheer. I might be cheering for Chris Jones. I'm not sure. I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because those game days are awesome there, Jock, on a nice day.
Yeah, you know what? And I do think Chris Jones is a great coach. I do think he's a good builder. Obviously, you just can't flip the switch in this league and just turn things around overnight. Are the Edmonton Elks going to be a better team this Saturday? Probably not. If you go back and his Saskatchewan record, what was he, 1-10 in his first 11 games, and then he got a lot better after that. It's going to take him some time to rebuild that franchise, and it may not happen this. I hope they win a game at Commonwealth Stadium, for goodness sakes, because the Elks have never won at Commonwealth Stadium, as you know. So we'll see. Battle of Alberta is only good when you have the history in the playoffs. We finally saw it in hockey this year. It was great. It was great for the cities. It was great for the province. The Battle of Alberta isn't there in the Canadian Football League right now. We need to bring that back.
Both teams need to be good.
Both teams need to be good. Exactly right.
It's not easy to happen, or it doesn't easily happen.
No.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes and he says, I'm perfectly happy with McMahon. Well, there were Rider fans that were perfectly happy with Taylor Field, but you only go there 10 times a year. When you have to go there 365 times a year, and there's water leaking from the ceiling, and there's wildlife and rats, and I don't know if McMahon's that, but that's what Taylor Field was, right? We hated it. But if to go sit and watch a game, it's totally different than what Jock was saying.
You go to these football stadiums in the States, and you've been there, and like I said, Kyle Field in Texas A&M. It's amazing how they can move people in. 107,000 people, and they've got it figured out. And you're not waiting in line after you drink a couple of pops, and you're not waiting in the washrooms for missing a quarter of football. That's it's all about the experience, and the new arenas in the NHL. It's so important. And the football stadiums are important too. So it is, hey, and I get it. The love affair can wear off pretty quickly, whether it's, the new Mosaic Stadium or, the new field in Winnipeg, Tim Hortons Field. You still have to give a great product. You still have to build a championship team. You still have to entertain your fans. It's not always about the stadium, but it's a starting point.
Well, for sure. And you want it to be comfortable for your fans.
Sure.
Like I would honestly, don't go to a major American sporting event and then come home, because you'll be even more upset. Where you can leave your seat and be in a concession like that, then in the bathroom like that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That's where they are all like that.
Yeah.
Where Canada, it is just far, far different. Can you stay for one more segment, or you got to roll?
What time is it?
It's 25 minutes to the hour.
Okay.
Radio talk. You got to
go? My daughter's got a train. I got to be home by noon. So.
Oh, you better go. Brooks, where are you on the guys leaving for the Live Tour in golf? Are you following that?
You know what? I'm a little upset at our brethren in the media for giving these guys such a hard time, because, as I've said on my own show, and I'll stir it up again here. You know what? The Americans, how much money do they spend in Saudi Arabia? Just from a defense perspective, the weapons and everything from that. It's like $100 billion, and there are so many major companies that are doing business in Saudi Arabia. I don't like what's going on in Saudi Arabia with the rights.
No.
It's like Sebastian Vettel coming in here, lecturing to Albertans, lecturing to Canadians about our oil sands. I say, F you, Sebastian Vettel, because look in the mirror. Don't be part of that. Don't be part of the F1 circuit. You got the biggest footprint. I'm going to sound like our premier, Jason Kenney, here right now. But you got a situation where, Saudi oil is bad, and he's coming in here ripping us in Alberta. So anyway, I have no problem with guys taking the money, and
good, because neither do I.
Okay,
so,
good. Okay.
Thank you, Jocko. Longtime fan here. I appreciate it, man. It's good to be on the same team, man. And let's keep in touch.
Anytime, man.
Sports Talk with Jock Wilson from AM CHQR 770 Calgary. The Moose will be back up here after this, right, Moose? We're live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV. YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Fish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Peterson.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino with the Stage Bar. I didn't get my latest sports update ready to roll, and I can't wait to unveil our newest sponsor for that. Hey, Moose? The Moose is back. I don't want to let it out of the bag just yet. All right. Coming up. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
So Jock Wilson's quite Quite the trip, eh? Let me turn the speakers up.
There you go.
There you go. You got us now.
Jock is great.
Live studio audience.
Yeah, Jock
I feel
is
like
awesome.
we're so late to the party here at Grey Eagle. Like, Jock's like, I used to do my show here for years.
I know.
I didn't know that.
I know.
So nice for him to be back, and that was all cool. I will get to a sports update. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right now. It's very brief. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final will be played tonight in Tampa with the visiting Colorado Avalanche leading the Stanley Cup Final 2-1. It's 8 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Mountain out here in the Mountain Time Zone. Who wins tonight, Moose? What are you thinking?
Tampa.
Yeah.
I know we got an Avs fan down here, the security, but I think Tampa wins, and it's even going back to Colorado.
Blue Jays send Ross Stripling to the mound today in their series finale at Chicago. The White Sox are looking for a sweep. It's a 2:10 Eastern first pitch. And I read this last hour, but I'm going to read it again. Brooks Koepka is the latest PGA Tour player to sign with a Saudi-backed LIV Golf Series. Koepka gives LIV another big name because of his 4 major titles. He withdrew from the PGA Tour's Travelers Championship in Connecticut just last night. The next LIV Golf event will be June 30th, just outside Portland. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. I won't have any more other protein bars than G2G now. It's not just because they are our sponsor. They're the best, Darren.
They're good.
As you know, 8 different varieties. There aren't that many that can say that. So I'll just say this about Jocko. We had a wonderful visit in the breaks about sports talk. And I will remember this. When the Heritage Classic was in Regina, what was that, 2019? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets, Calgary Flames in Mosaic Stadium, the football stadium. I'll never forget Craig Simpson, the color guy in Hockey Night in Canada, saying, he goes, I was walking through downtown Regina last night. I was looking in the windows of the restaurants, and on all the TVs, it was NHL and CFL. And if that's not Western Canada, right there. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. There's got to be room for that in what we do.
Yeah, that is what we do.
Well, yeah, that's all anybody cares about out here.
Yeah.
Is the NHL and the CFL. And I don't really see that changing, which reminds me, viewer BW in Edmonton wrote in and he says, hey, the Elks are bringing a fan bus down to the game Saturday. Do you think Victor Cui will be on it? The president of the Edmonton Elks. I don't know. But yesterday, Moose and I went to Taco Time, and how unbelievable was that? Amazing. And the reason I put a photo up, because I had a gift card from Taco Time. Thank you, Jess, from Taco Time, for feeding us yesterday. And I posted it, and Victor Cui liked it on Instagram, and I got all excited. So Moose this morning shows up here at the stage. I said, Victor Cui liked my photo last night. And you're like, tell the world what.
Oh, I'm like, well, he followed me personally, too, on social media.
This guy's a star.
He's probably driving the bus from Edmonton to Calgary. Like, I would expect him to honk the horn, lean out the window, and say, hi, Rod. Like, I would fully expect that.
I know. Oh, my God. Oh. So I don't know. But you see, we're starting to do our thing out here. And Jock says, hey, I'll be doing my pregame show Saturday for the Stamps out in the parking lot. Like the tailgating. I'm like, I'll stop by and bang on your door. Who knows? I might end up on Stampeders, the pregame.
Yeah.
But it's kind of exciting what's going on in these CFL markets named Edmonton and BC. And these fan buses, who knows? I hope Victor's on it. You know he's going to be at the game. Yeah. You don't become the president, or if you're Amar Doman, buy a team. Like if I bought a team, the staff would probably hate me because I would be on every road trip. Yep, in the room.
Yeah.
I'd be that guy.
You'd be that guy.
But I don't think I'd be a loser like a lot of the guys are that are in those roles. I'm not currently. I'm just saying in the past, I'd like to be around. Because I'm around now, but I don't affect anything.
Yeah.
But I just remember hosting a fan bus. I don't even want to say. We were going to a Saskatchewan Rush game. It was near the end of my time in my old job, let's put it that way. And we're taking this bus to a Rush game, and I'll never forget the guy sitting in the front seat. I guess he was, let's just say, the organizer of the fan bus.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you get up and toss some prizes out to the crowd and hand out some of these snacks? I said, why don't you GTFO? It wasn't much longer after that I was on the unemployment. But I think I didn't want to get up and hand out prizes and snacks. I feel like Victor Cui might want to do that.
Yeah, he wants to do it.
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, well, then that's why Victor's in his role, right?
I'm not the president.
Exactly. You don't want to be.
No.
So it's a good spot for him. You got to be, he actually enjoys it. If it's work, I got to go shake some hands, and then it's not the right job, right? You have to want to do it, and you want to make it better and want to, have these experiences. So I think it's great. Some people will say, oh, you're going to do a fan trip, 30 people on the bus, really? And how much effort is that putting in, and what are you getting? You're getting 30 people really connected to your football club. That's a huge win, and that grows. And next time you do it, it'll be 50. And then it'll be 75, and then it'll be 100, then it'll be 500, right? And it'll grow, and you'll build your fan base one at a time.
I'm just smiling, sitting here thinking about a lot of things right now, one of which was the rivalry that Jock Wilson and I used to have. Oh, man. He didn't like me. I didn't really like him. And now look at us.
Yeah.
Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says, why not get Jock's Grey Cup picks, Rod? Because it's June, and Jock will be back. So I'll do the talking, you do the watching. By the way, John Kirby in Edmonton wants to know, do you think Tiger Woods will sign with Live Golf? He's already said no, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said no, or at least he hasn't said anything. They've offered him high
hundreds of millions.
Yeah, like close to $1 billion.
But he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. And I think, Tiger's still managing his injuries, and if he's only going to play in majors anyway, why go sign up, take the pay to play in a few events there? Just play in the majors, retain your PGA status if you're Tiger. He can wait.
BW in Edmonton. The other is hashtag squirrel moment. Maybe the Saudis can build Calgary a new field house / stadiums.
How about that?
They're in competition for selling oil as it is. I don't think Saudi and Calgary is good friends.
Probably not.
But I don't want to get into the oil thing. It's a sports show, for the love of God. That was me that got into it, not him. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Sask is behind on payments on their new stadium. So what? At least we have one. Next.
Hoorah!
What are they going to do?
Right. I just say one thing on Victor Cui. When you said if it's a job, it wouldn't feel right. I follow from my time in the CFL a lot of fans of other teams, believe it or not just Rider fans. And I saw guys on the concourse at the Elks game Saturday with Victor Cui. Guys like Elvis.
Yeah.
But can I please ask you, how many photos do you see of other team presidents with fans on the concourse? Hashtag never.
Yeah. Pretty rare.
So Victor's rolling around, smiling. He wants to be a man of the people. And I'll just say this, and I don't really care anymore who's watching or who's hearing and whose feelings are hurt, but some of the guys that I've worked for and been, at the top echelons of the teams could not carry on a conversation on the concourse with the average fan. They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Been rich their whole life. What are they going to talk to Mary about, who's struggling to pay for her groceries this week? He would have no idea what that's like.
No idea.
I said, get a sense like Victor Cui would.
He relates. He's relatable.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, he doesn't come off. It's just a weird thing. He doesn't, not weird, but it's a gift, I guess. He doesn't come off as being better than anybody.
He's not the first of his kind. I've had other executives say, Victor's not doing anything new. Yeah, but nobody's done it for a real long time. That's what's interesting about it. We'll be back with viewer takeover, which has kind of been going for the last 10 minutes anyways, but for taco time, we'll be right back for our final segment. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. We are coming to you live from the Stage Bar here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. The Moose is with me. Overtime is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the UFC. And, of course, we call it Taco Time Viewer Takeover. And I see they're getting upset that I haven't answered all of their comments here today. They're noticing that we're getting a lot more viewers. We're getting bots in the chat, you know.
More comments.
Not just love face, but more bot. Yeah, look at you.
Look at that.
Look at you. But I will say this. Ring the bell. John in Edmonton, he's like our researcher. He says, breaking news. BMO Field, home of the Toronto Argonauts and Toronto FC soccer team, announced a plan to renovate the venue by expanding seating up to 45,736. I'm biting my tongue here. I guess that's for World Cup. They couldn't get 10,000. You're going to double the size of it?
Yeah.
But that's a sad thing. It's for soccer, not Canadian football. Do you know what I mean? But that's...
I know build it and they will come, but build it, market it, maybe they will come. I don't know.
Clearly they have to... It's for World Cup is what I'm reading from everybody.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm still tickled thinking about Jock Wilson, who was with us for most of hour two. I'm telling you, that 1984 Mustang L was my first car. Had a great cassette player in it. That sucker was through, I put that thing through everything. Didn't we all with our first car?
Yeah, we did.
And I remember having that radio tuned to 660, 66 CFR. listening to Jock Wilson for years, man. I was a fan of his before I even knew him. And for him to say that he and the Sutters don't get along, like my mind just went somewhere when he said that. I'm like, can you imagine? The Sutters are hockey's first family, but they in Alberta, they just go hand in hand. But so too does Jock. So he's in the media. So can you imagine? And up until this recent stretch, and as he said, the 0-4 run, Brent Sutter's time wasn't that great with the Flames. I'm saying, and I'm sorry, I have Sutters watch this show every day. They tell me. Daryl left. I think he was fired the first time. And Brian's wasn't a great time either. So I'm just saying, I could see how Jock might not be getting invited to the Sutter Golf Tournament.
Yeah, if
it's
he
tough.
was overly critical, at the time, if it wasn't going well, he's got to be honest to his listeners and give his opinion. And if his opinion is that the team's not doing very good, then the guys that are running that team aren't going to like you very much. It's just natural for that to happen. But that'd be tough in this province.
Because it's the radio stations he's been on have very large signals, and so everybody gets it. Everybody listens to it. And this isn't just the Jock Wilson show, but it was so awesome to have him on.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. All kinds of. I just opened up the text line. Right. Ken Lega in Saskatoon. I give this look because there's so many messages here. Ken Lega in Saskatoon watching on Game Plus TV. He says, it appears one winner of this year's NHL coaching carousel may be the University of Saskatchewan Huskies hockey team. They may have Mike Babcock back again. I don't know if Babs is even applying for these jobs. Babs, that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Babs has a lot of friends out here that we're going to be spending time with, and we'll find out what Babs' future has. I don't know if he doesn't need to coach again financially. He doesn't. Nor did Paul Maurice. Nor does Barry Trotz. There's only one job left. It's Winnipeg, right? And I don't know that Babs was in on any of these.
Did Boston fill?
There's another one.
Boston's still open.
Okay, fair.
Right. That's a good one. You got a good team there. 107-point season they're coming off of. So that's a threat.
Jeff Y is watching in Hamilton on Game Plus TV, and he says, hey, Rod, looks like Trevor Harris is now the man in Montreal. No wonder VA was so ticked when they signed him. Trevor Harris going to start this week against Saskatchewan, but from what I'm hearing this morning, it's a COVID thing for VA. Not performance-based, as they say, but COVID. We're going to have to look into that a little more, but thank you, Jeff in Hamilton, for chiming in on that. Sask, Montreal, Thursday night kicks off. I said I'd give my picks. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We still got lots of time. But yeah, Trevor Harris starts. I'm hearing it's because of COVID, not performance. Devin Pakailo in Burns Lake, BC, watching on Game Plus says, good morning. Only in the NHL can a Jack Adams finalist of a President's Trophy winner not see another season. Have fun with Pomo. 90 seconds left, they tell us. Was Pomo a finalist for Coach of the Year?
No, but Brunette, like President's Trophy.
Yeah, but that's all screwed up.
Because Quenneville started the year, right? Got them going. And
we need another hour to talk about all of this. And thank you, T. Will in Winnipeg, for all your comments today. He says, Babs was a good guy to my friend who passed away from cancer when he was in Detroit. I can't dislike that guy. That's another thing with this show. We're going to stand up to the avalanche of hate against people that it's just so wrong, like what's going against Babs and certain other people. Last minute will play in hour one. You can't. Brunette should have never been a finalist for Coach of the Year in the NHL anyways. He got the job by default. Tremendous culture in Florida with the Panthers organization that was ruined by the Chicago scandal. They didn't want to make Quenneville quit. And if Brunette had coached them at least to show up against Tampa Bay, he might have had a job next year with the Panthers as head coach. But they didn't even show up. That's why he's out, in my opinion. And it'll be a while before I get back to Florida to get the real goods on this. But they got a good one today. That's the Panthers got a good one in Paul Maurice.
That's the difference. That's the deal here. At the end of the day, they got a good one. And Brunette's going to weigh his options, but he may stay on that bench as an assistant. And that would be good for the team.
Absolute fantastic show today. Nice job, Clark. Thanks, Hustler and Jock. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern here at Grey Eagle on Game Plus.
Nerds! Nerds! Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Bob's your uncle. That's hot. I like it. Sold. Bingo!